Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland. Winona has taken advantage of its Capital for a Day status, which it was given back in May, and decided to party on in September with a family art day and a paddle for life. We're down at the lake today to participate in some of the activities and find out exactly what's going on. This is Bernadette Mahfood, who is in charge of bringing the art extravaganza here for the Capital of the Day continuing celebration. Hi, Bernadette.
Hi.
Tell me what's going on back here.
Well, just about everything. We've got pottery, baskets, painters, paper makers, mask makers. Oh, I almost forgot the hat makers.
That's a cute hat. Did you make that yourself?
Well, they shape it on your head first and then roll it up, and then you get to decorate it. So I did the decorating.
Oh, great. How did you get this idea going? What brought you to do this, and is this going to be a regular event?
Well, to answer in reverse, we hope that this is an annual event, and it started with the Blue Heron Project last year. Our committee was so excited about being together and doing art projects that we came up with this project to spend some of the money that we raised last year from the Blue Heron Statue Project. So.
Well, and now, too bad it's raining here. You would have had a much better turnout, but it seems like everybody's having fun.
Everybody's having fun. I think this is a pretty good turnout. You never know the first year you do anything. And I'd say this is a success and that we should do this annually.
I think so, too. It brings the people of Winona together in a fun spirit.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
Well, thank you, Bernadette.
Thank you.
The event today really is a three-pronged event. This morning and continuing to this afternoon, we have the Family Art Day activities, the Art Extravaganza. And then we're going to have entertainment sort of throughout the afternoon. Then also we'll beginning the middle portion of our day, which is the Paddle for Life Regatta. Then the event culminates tonight with a family outdoor movie. We'll be showing the Bee Movie if the weather holds. 5:30 there'll be a magician on this stage. The latter portion of today is really the culmination of our Capital for the Day activities. If you remember, Winona was given the designation of Capital for a Day back on May 16th. So again, sort of a three-pronged approach today with the art component, the regatta, and then the Capital for a Day events.
The entertainment portion of Family Day Extravaganza, as the event was called, began with a beautiful dance performed by two students from Winona State University. These are the lovely ladies that just entertained us from Sri Lanka, and they are Winona State University students, and I'll have them identify themselves for you. What is your name?
Savandi. Avaranja.
Okay, well, now tell us what brings you here to Winona, a little bit about yourself.
I go to Winona State. I came here 2 years ago, and I study biology. And she came 3 weeks ago, and she's studying biology with me. And she's a freshman, I'm a sophomore.
Oh, and you're both so very beautiful, and your dancing was lovely. Tell me about your dancing. How long have you been dancing?
We've been dancing for last 2 years, and we have performed in Sri Lanka also, but here also we are performing.
Well, it was wonderful. Is this a special kind of a dance? Tell me about the dance itself.
The dance we did today is a fusion of Sri Lankan dance and Indian dance. And I made this piece according to a song which was made by a leading musician in Sri Lanka. And this is icon of heritage in Sri Lanka. So I think I did a fair job in, making this piece.
Well, you certainly did. It was beautiful. So now let me ask you one more question. What do you think of your first 3 weeks in Winona, Minnesota, USA?
It was really good. Other than the food, it was really good because I'm not really good with food here.
Okay. It takes a while to get used to this.
She's getting used to it. Yeah. I like the food. I always cook for her. And they have rice, everything here. And I like the, Minnesota food. And it was hard for me to get used to the winter last year, but now I'm kind of used to it. Yeah.
Well, I bet it was very cold for you, wasn't it?
It was. First winter, I liked the snow because I have never seen snow. So I was running around the snow and playing, making snowman. And then afterwards, spring, I hated it. But now I deal with it. Okay. Yeah, I like it so far.
Have you warned your sister about it?
No, actually, I let her go and play. That's what I did. Let her go around and play in the snow.
Okay, so you're kind of looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm so excited to see the winter.
Well, I'll ask you in March what you think of that. Well, tell me a little bit about your makeup. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. We're not used to such beautiful makeup. Tell me about that.
Okay, usually, the ordinary people doesn't use this makeup. When I was in Sri Lanka for 2 years, I was working in a professional dance troupe. I've been around the world, actually. I've been to China, I've been to India. So I have experience for 2 years. So whenever we perform, we do our makeup by ourselves. And then our master who taught us, he has a tradition where he actually, draw long eyes. So actually I take his culture forward. That's all we do. She take my culture forward. So we take our culture, like draw our eyes and do everything is according to his traditions. I do that.
The best part in the face is the eye. So we are just showing the eyes specifically. So it's nice for the dance and everything.
The dance, the main 3 concepts are expression, melody, and rhythm. So eyes are very important for expression. That's why we always focus on our eyes.
Excellent. And your English is beautiful. And tell me what you're studying at Winona State University.
I'm a cell and molecular major, and I have a minor in dance.
I'm also same, like I'm doing the biology. I'm minor in dance.
Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your culture with us and for dancing so beautifully for us.
Thanks a lot.
Everyone really enjoyed the dance, especially the young girls who raced over to the university students for their autograph, which gave us the opportunity to look a little closer at the artfully applied makeup. More dancing was in store from the Village Dancers, which are a group of women who take belly dancing classes in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
capital for a day in Winona was one of 5 cities. It also had 2 groups that no other city had, Native Americans at the Dakota Gathering and also students involved at City Hall in model legislature, passing legislation as members of the community testified for and against it. We had a request for the model legislature in December of this year to deal with one more bill, and I'm holding it in my hand. This is an exact facsimile of the bill that was drafted in 1857 that created Winona State University and the beginning of Minnesota's higher education system. This bill created the first land-grant university west of the Mississippi, Winona State. We will put this bill in the bill book as House File 1, Senate File 1, at the model legislature in December, and this will be the event that will be the end of 2 really celebrations for the sesquicentennial. Minnesota's ending event, Winona State's ending event, because it's 150 years old this year, and of course the capital for a day. This is 5 pages long, and you notice it is handwritten, no typewriters. Any changes, you redo the whole bill. This is the draft. We then have the engrossment. So I want to thank again Mayor Miller, the City of Winona, and remember, December we have one more activity to end officially the celebration of Minnesota's 150th, Winona State's 150th, and I can only hope the students actually repass this and we'll have a signing ceremony. Thank you very much.
A group of Dakota Native Americans joined us for the day and entertained with a ceremonial drumming performance. The day was a great day for the young. Not only were they inspired by dancers and drummers, but it was a learning experience for them as well. As the entertainment was going on in the bandshell, over 20 artists were available behind the bandshell to instruct and host children and adults too in an interactive art adventure.
The wire was wrapping around the top cylinder. Now it's wrapping around the bottom cylinder. So this is the critical point right here. Now as we hold on to our tool and we have the loop on the bottom part, we take this, what we're going to call this the scarf. We take this.
Lynette Power, the designer of the blue heron statue, brought one of her herons, which she painted with a dull black paint so that people of all ages could color it with chalk. She also brought a figure sculpture device so people could sculpt and have some fun with clay and wire. Two artists teamed up to introduce children to pottery in 2 different ways. Teresa Schumacher brought along her potter's wheel to teach how to shape a ball of clay into a pot using the wheel.
I want you to close your eyes, think about your hands, and don't move your hands. Okay? So that's okay. Come around the clay.
On the other hand, Emerald May Hulsing shows the kids how to shape the clay into a pot by using only the hands.
Well, right now we're working on a variety of different pottery, handmade pottery. We're doing a lot of pinch pots right now. I did do an example of a slab pot, which is where you cut pieces together and put them together. And also I was doing some examples of coil pots. It has been really busy. It seems like everybody really enjoys getting into the clay and having an opportunity to try out something new.
Well, great. Let me chat with some of you guys.
I'm Cara McMahon.
Hey, Cara, tell me about what you're doing here, and are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm just simply trying to make a snail. And I'm really enjoying it because I do this a lot during school, but this would probably be the first time that I got to do it out of school. So it's really fun.
Can I see your snail? Let's hold it up for the camera. Ooh, yeah, it really does look like a snail. Now, do you color it at all after it's all done?
Well, actually, you have to glaze it, but she don't have any glazes here. So I'm probably going to glaze it at my house.
Okay, it's really cute. And then what do you think you're going to do with it?
Then I might either put it in my room or try to use it to scare my sister.
We're learning different techniques of what to make. I'm making a pinch pot, and other techniques she was teaching us were slab pots and coil pots.
So what did you learn about making a pinch pot?
That if it gets stuck to the table, sometimes it's easier to put it on a bag, and to smooth it out, there's different tools that you can use.
Well, I'm just making an easy pinch pot with kind of a cool design, best design I think I've made on a pot.
Oh, it is a very nice design. What are you going to do with this?
I think I'm going to bring it home and keep it.
And what did you learn today?
Well, I learned that clay is very sticky.
I see that.
And dries fast.
Okay. All right. And now this is going to harden, and you're going to take it home. What are you going to use it for?
I don't know. I think I'm just going to use it for decoration.
Okay. Sounds good. Are you having fun?
Yes.
We're doing different beaded jewelry. These ones are for kids. Today I'm doing some kids classes, but we do adult classes also down at Montage. We did a fortune bracelet, and now we're doing a friendship bracelet. We did a button bracelet, and we did some memory wire rings.
So what I'm doing is just using the purple strand as the center, and I'm making a loop with the pink, and then bringing the pink around the center and up through the loop I just made, and pulling it tight. And then I'm just switching and making a loop with the purple, bringing it around the middle strand and up through the loop, and just alternating like that.
Generally, when you go into the store, they're not going to
This is one of my teachers.
Okay.
She's teaching today.
Hi.
This is Bead Kerr.
Hi. What's your name?
Bead.
Bead. Perfect name for
yes,
this project.
Yeah.
How did you get the name Bead, and then you like to do beads?
Actually, my name has kind of a long story, but I was named after Saint Bede.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And so it's just a coincidence that you like working with beads. Well, what are you teaching the kids today?
Right now I'm teaching them how to make some friendship bracelets. They're these friendship bracelets, just in different colors. They're pretty simple little bracelets, just with knots, and
it's just fun, and you can do anything you want, really. You get to choose the colors, and you can tie knots.
And what are you working on?
A friendship bracelet.
Is it fun so far?
Yes.
Using a larger rope, Andrew Chulik, an artist from La Crosse, shared an unusual art form with the participants. He calls it What's My Line?
But you can interact the lines. So the red one could start up here and crisscross it, or you could tie the yellow line on and pull it over.
It's art without a pencil, pen, or brush. Instead, you draw with a rope. Using a special tool like a tent stake with an enclosed loop at the top, you string different colored rope from an end point. The tool suspends the rope above the ground, and after each color is laid, Andrew suggests you photograph it. After all the layers are finished and the photos are developed, the final art piece is a book with the photos in the order they were taken. You then flip through them like the old cartoon process, or make a book into a movie clip. This proved to be an interactive art process that encourages teamwork and would make an excellent school project. Tapestry weaving was introduced to the children by artist Monta May.
Can I have kind of different colors? Great. Okay, that's great. I want kind of different colors.
3 different types of painting were included. John Durfee taught tempera painting, and watercolors were introduced by Barbara Fighton.
But if you go over cloth,
let's take another color. How about that red one? You want to try red? Yeah.
You like the red?
Try that color?
Julia Crozier introduced mural painting. This was especially fun because for many it was the very first time they ever held a paintbrush.
carry it over. Not much.
Here you go.
I love pink.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
And you flip it over and come in on the other side. Here.
I believe the same thing with music. Everybody who's got music in it, it's just
And that's up together.
Right. I see.
You
gotta brush it in like this, buddy, so you don't drip so much like that. Brush it in. Have some fun.
Some of the adults had just as much fun, if not more, than their children. Well, Julia Krueger is here, and Julia, you're really quite the famous Winona artist. And I see you've got a couple murals going on here. Yeah. What are you trying to teach the kids here?
Well, actually, I think just the main point is to just have fun painting and just to get them comfortable holding a brush and not be afraid to just put some paint on some canvas and just mess around with some designs and see what happens. Then they've been really having a lot of fun, so it's been really busy actually. Yeah, it took a while to get started on both of them, but then once people see that something's going with the blank canvas, then they are really a lot more comfortable. After one person starts, then more people get going on it, and a lot of adults have been helping their children and having fun with it too, so yeah, it's really been good. I mean, it's been like kind of steady.
Well, thanks for bringing all your paints out, and this is a great opportunity for these kids.
Thank you. It's been really fun.
Next week, we'll see more of the activities from the Family Art Day Extravaganza and Paddle for Life, a continuation of Winona's Capital for a Day celebration. This has been Joyce Woodworth. Please join me on the Spirit of the Heartland, Saturday through Tuesday at 10, 1, and 7 p.m., Channel 25. Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland and the second half of the Family Day event show. The event itself was held on Saturday, September 13th, 2008, during a rainy and misty day on and around Lake Winona. Entertainment was provided at the Lake Park Bandshell in connection with Winona's honor of being appointed capital for a day. The Paddle for Life was held on the lake, and the Art Day Extravaganza was held behind the bandshell. In last week's show, we left off at the activities going on under the art tents, which was sponsored by the Winona Fine Arts Commission and the Blue Heron Committee. That committee, spearheaded by Bernadette Mahfood, raised $65,000 in 2007, selling the Blue Heron statues, which were designed by Lynette Power and painted by various artists. Some of this money was used in the starting of this Family Art Day at the lake, with the hopes it will continue on as an annual event. Today we'll spend a bit more time with the art activities, as Bernadette helps me make a hat, and then we'll go on to learn about the Paddle for Life.
Right, first you have to pick one of these colors. You've
Okay,
got several colors
let's go
of
with
tissue paper.
something that's going to go with my outfit. I think maybe the red one, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we do this.
All right.
And then I'm going to put this over your head and cover your face.
Oh, great. Okay, here we go. Do it.
It's really fun, Joyce.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to hold this down.
All right.
While I take your head up.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Bernadette.
Ooh, this is so fun, I'm telling you. Okay.
All right. Usually we do this, you have to sit down. But
Sit down, okay. Oh.
Hang on.
here's a chair.
Oh, all right.
Okay, you're done.
How's it looking?
This is pretty...
Now I know how they feel in the desert.
Right.
Okay.
It is similar.
Is it looking quite beautiful
It's
yet?
looking quite interesting. Now, you pull that off your head.
All right. There.
There you go. And then you can decorate
Ooh,
it.
cute. How cute.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks good like this.
Yes, this is going to be on television.
Yeah, it does. It looks good like this.
So
all right.
you can add...
Ooh, add whatever I want, huh?
Yes.
Flowers are nice. Ooh, look at that.
Nice. Look at that.
And that's on there already.
Let's see.
Ooh, little feather. How do you stick that on? Just with
Well, you
tape?
use some tape.
Is this the way the milliners did it way back when?
I don't think so.
How do you get one of these nice little green balls like this?
They're in there.
Okay.
See if there's a brown one.
Ooh, a brown one. Oh, yeah, that'd be okay. We could do that. All right.
It'll take a while to dry, but it won't go anywhere if you
How's that?
are not out in a gale. And a couple feathers.
All right. Get your artistic touch in there, Bernadette. Oh, yeah. So how am I looking here? Sure was fun. Sure was easy. All right. How's that look? Shining for the camera now. Yeah, it looks really, really good. I like it. What are you going to work on now?
I don't know.
You going to do something over here? What are you going to do?
I might do that or that.
Okay. Well, what is that?
Collage.
Okay, a collage. All right, let's see how you're going to do it, all right? And what is your name?
Shayna.
Sheena. Let's go see you do your collage.
Okay, when you're making a collage, what you're doing is you're taking pieces of fabric and pieces of paper that have designs, and you're arranging them on this board to look like the image that you want. So what you're going to do is look at the things you have here to start with. And sometimes we start with a couple of these bigger pieces. See these? You can start with a couple of bigger ones.
Our own thing?
Whatever you like. This is what you choose.
Shayna stayed busy for quite a while, cutting and pasting and creating her collage. The other tables also stayed busy throughout the day. Children and adults alike had the unique opportunity to work and create with various artists and various art media. Shayna turned her collage into her own work of art.
How are you all doing? Good. Let's add clapping and cheering and stomping. How are y'all doing? Woo! Awesome. Thanks all for coming out. This is a fun event, so I'm glad you're all here. At the end of August and the beginning of September, we did an art contest. Coloring sheets went out into the community, and what it was we were looking for a 4th, 5th, or 6th grader to design a paddle and then answer a question that was on that paddle. And we went through many submissions and came up with our contest winner. And here she is with us today. Her name is Jocelyn Free. Let's give her a round of applause. And we have the paddle here that she designed. Drum rolls, please. Put it on your laps. Get going. There you go. And so, with this winning submission, Jocelyn has won a 12-foot kayak from Winona Canoe. Very cool. Let's do one more round of applause. This is pretty neat, pretty special.
Now my pleasure to introduce Senator Sharon Erickson Ropes.
I'll just stand by this gorgeous picture here so it doesn't fall down again. But thank you for coming out today and dealing with the weather and the drizzle. But isn't Winona a great place to live? I've been walking around this morning, I've been looking at families that have their kids at tables and they're full of paint and they're full of clay, and people are having a great time. We have displays here from Winona Canoe. We have high technology and sports. We have arts. We have families together and community. We have dancing, and we're going to be having drumming and all sorts of things going on today. This is just a wonderful intersection of activities, and it's happening in Winona. I was really happy to be talking this morning with David Train down here, and he is just so passionate about the Paddle for Life and his interest in global warming. And he was talking to me about how perfect it is to be in Winona, and that Winona can make a change in the global warming debate. He's gone around the world, and he will talk to you a little bit about his paddle. And he was saying Winona can be the tipping point for the world in bringing attention to global warming. He has every confidence in all the kids and the school kids in our community that they write letters to elected officials that we can continue to bring attention to this issue. So I think it's wonderful to again be in Winona with all of these activities going around about us, and we're dealing with environmental issues, high technology, sporting events, and community. And this is about community in our hearts, in our minds, and what we believe. So thank you so much, and I'm really proud to have David here joining us today. Thank you so much for coming out, and it's great to be in Winona.
This is Jocelyn Free, who won the contest, the paddle painting contest. But tell me a little bit about what that contest entailed. What was it all about?
About coloring a paddle, and then the prize was a 12-foot kayak.
Wow, and you won it. So did you actually draw it on this big sheet of paper here?
No, I draw it on a normal-sized piece of paper.
Okay. And then they obviously blew it up, and then you came up with the saying here, too. What does the saying say?
Volunteering makes a better future.
Okay, what were you thinking about when you said that?
Like if everybody volunteered, it'd be better when a few years from now.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But can you believe you won a kayak for yourself?
No.
What are you going to do with this kayak?
Maybe go out on the lake sometime with my parents.
Have you ever kayaked before?
Yeah, once.
Oh, really? So you think you're going to be able to handle it?
Yeah.
What do you do for fun activities?
Coloring and playing games.
Okay. Do you know how much this kayak is worth?
No.
Do you have any idea?
$300 or so.
$300? Might even be worth a little bit more than that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
David Train, a former Olympic rowing coach from Great Britain, uses a canoe paddle as the symbol of solving local and global problems through teamwork and cooperation, using the talents of all. On September 11, 2008, on the 7th anniversary of the 9/11 Twin Towers national disaster, Governor Tim Pawlenty came to Winona for the unveiling of Winona's monument in honor of that event. At that time, he met with David Train, signed the paddle, and met with a group of children from St. Stan's School who were practicing rowing techniques under David Train's guidance in anticipation of the Paddle for Life Regatta.
All right, and you're out to do a little canoeing today? Yeah. You having fun? Yeah. Learning a lot? Yeah. Yeah, now you got to go back to school? Well, it's going to be lunch pretty soon, right? Yeah. All right, is that your teacher back there? Where's the teacher? Over there? Looks great.
Principal.
Wow, we're really proud of you guys. That's great. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got any questions for me?
Do you work with the president on a daily basis?
Well, I know the president, and I've had a chance to sleep over. You guys have sleepovers, right? I've had some sleepovers at the White House. Can you believe that? But I don't work with them on a daily basis. Usually just when a few times a year when something big happens, I talk to them. So I don't talk to them every day. All right, you guys be safe. Have fun.
This is David Train, who brought the Paddle of Life to Winona, and we're going to find out what exactly that means. Hi, David. Welcome to Winona. And I understand you're from Britain. And tell me about yourself.
Well, I was Olympic coach for canoe racing for 4 Olympics, from Los Angeles through to Atlanta. And I have a club that I started in Fladbury, where I live, which is downstream from Shakespeare's. It's on the Shakespeare's Haven. And from there, we've had something like 90 people represented Britain since I formed the club. And we've had somebody in every Olympics since 1984, including the last one.
Excellent.
And my sons now coach the team.
Great.
So that's the canoeing side. You know.
Well, what brought you to Winona?
Oh, a few years ago, I've done all this canoeing experience, but I was also in industry, and I wrote a report, I did an article combining my work in industry and my work in sport. And as a result of that, I met the Americans who took the quality message to Japan after World War II. And they asked me how to get a message to America about what they'd done. It was about teamwork and about cooperation and bringing everybody together. So that's how it started. Mm-hmm. And then what happened is I spoke at the Deming. It was a man called Dr. Deming who went to Japan, an American. And I spoke at his conference at Purdue University in 2005. And in the audience were 3 people from Winona, including the city manager, Eric Sorensen. And afterwards, I was then saying to the conference that we weren't now talking about the quality of manufactured goods, we were talking about the quality of the planet. And we had to apply these same ideas to how we're going to solve the problem of climate change and global warming. And Eric Sorensen was in the audience and said, "You must come to Winona." He said, "We've got one of the greatest canoe makers in America." And of course I knew straight away Winona Canoe is a very famous world brand. And he said, "Come to Winona." And so I've been here. This is my 4th occasion, and gradually the event came out of that.
Excellent. So what is your main message?
My main message is that we can solve the problem of global warming if we all get together and we go to our schools and everybody does their bit, if everybody comes on board. And I've symbolised that in the creation of a new team boat, which is a doubled hull that everybody can go into. It's a Liberty boat. Going along with that is the children in the school, and people make their own paddle for life. So what they then do is from a sword and shield, if you see this one here, you can imagine that as a shield, and that as a sword with a handle on. From a sword and shield, they make a paddle for life, conflict to cooperation, which is the message that the Americans took to Japan, which created their manufacturing industry. And then what they do is plant trees on a 2-to-1 basis to replace it, pledge to keep the paddle for life, which means every child who does that takes the first step in sinking carbon, which is the first step in saving the planet. Then they want to go out and use the paddle on a boat, so it's getting them fit and it's making the paddle fit. And the whole process then goes on. We create events like this, but this is a model for what we would create everywhere in the world. And so it's an Olympics, if you want, the Olympic idealism of bringing the world together in peace, but it can spread on a mass scale. It's not just in one place every 4 years. It can happen here. We're doing it in Worcestershire, and I'm hoping to take these ideas to China. It spreads. So this is I see Winona as a fantastic spot to do it in.
Great. Oh, we're so proud of that.
Yeah, well, it's because here, the Olympics in Beijing, they spent £19 billion, and in all the Olympics, when we made a massive stadium, and at the end of it, that's all we're left with the buildings almost. But here, you see, for a water-based activity, that Lake Winona is the same as an Olympic stadium, or bigger, and it's there. It doesn't have to be maintained, it's always there. If we have an activity based around the water, then we don't have to spend these vast sums of money. And that's the message that we have to get across. We do more with less. And this is the example of it. So it's really wonderful.
Wonderful message. Now, what can we expect to see today?
Well, what we're doing today is that the children from the local schools are coming out and taking part in a regatta. I've spoken in the local schools and I've told them about their ideas, and I hope that someday what they will do next year, for instance, all the children, 8-year-old children here, will then make their paddle for life. So that'll be the model of what we do. This year it's getting started. But one of the things we are then going to do later on, after the children have had their races, we're having a race for this paddle, and it's a very, very special paddle. This one I made when I was at Purdue University, and it was the first one I ever made for myself. I've based it on the Chinese dragon boat paddle. I got the students at Purdue to sign it. I then I was coming up here, so I got the students at Winona State to sign it, and the city managers. I then took it back to England, and when I was back in England, I got Tony Blair to sign it, so Tony Blair's signature on it. I got the Speaker of the House of Commons, the President of the Royal Society, which is our top scientific institution, and a load of other leaders. Then I sent it back to Eric Sorensen here as a trophy for a race to bring the community and the university together, as a model for what we can do everywhere else. So this paddle, which has been signed by the community leaders here and by Tim Pawlenty.
Great.
And then the other day we were I met Tim Pawlenty, and I've asked the children of Winona to write to Pawlenty and ask him if he will get President Bush to sign it. Because, I've got the British Prime Minister on. I've got another paddle in London at home, but for London and Beijing. And I'm trying to get that for President Hu of China. And if President Bush signs this paddle, I'm absolutely certain I can get President Hu of China to sign it as a symbol of bringing the world together. And if we do that, we'll save the planet. So Winona is the tipping point of how we take the planet from a coaching point of view. A coaching point of view is doing it from the base and inspiring people. It's the political way of tackling the problem is to regulate and do it from the top. Well, I can't do that. You can't say to an athlete, there's a law that you have to get a gold medal. You've got to inspire them to do it, then you've got to give them the tools to do the job, and then you've got to work at it day in, day out for many years.
All right.
So I think that if the children of Winona achieve that, and they said they're going to, and they get President Bush to sign that, it'll save the planet.
Awesome. Great message, and I know that change comes from the bottom up, and we're proud to be right there as the conduit for the change.
Yeah, the catalyst.
Yes, the catalyst for change.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lydia, explain the race to us.
So what it is we have students and community members getting together. There's 10 people per boat and then a person who is steering. And the point of it is achieving things through working together. And so realizing that it draws the parallel of everyone stroking together, stroke, 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 and that's how you're going to accomplish the end race. That's how you're going to finish the line. So,
How many teams do you have here?
Today we have, let's see, they're spontaneous. They're just happening as people show up, and we're just filling the boats in. And so we've already had, this is our fourth heat. right now. So I think we'll probably stop at 4 or 5 and then have a final race.
Is it really about winning?
No, not at all. It's all about teamwork. Okay. Yeah, yep.
And where do the kids come from?
A lot of the students today are from St. Stan's, and then also Bluffview Montessori. But then it's really open to anybody who shows up. So I'm sure we have a spattering and a lot of representatives from different schools, and yeah.
Well, it looks like everyone's having a blast, and you are too, obviously.
I am. This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Who are the adults that are going out?
Parents, random people just that have raised their hand and said, I'll go. So it's been really nice to have them step up and hop in a boat and paddle with us. So,
well, now, Lydia, tell me what the outcome is going to be.
I have no idea. I have no clue. It's anybody's guess at this point. Yeah.
But is there going to be a winner?
There will be a winner, and we'll cheer them, and that will be how we'll applaud.
Okay. So it's all about teamwork. It's not about winning, and they're having a blast. That's the main thing.
Right. We want laughter. We want smiles. We want encouragement happening. So that's what we're shooting for.
Okay. Thanks, Lydia.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's harder than it looks.
For you?
Well, it was fun. I liked it. School came down here on Thursday and did it and practiced. Well, it was fun at least.
Did you know how to paddle before?
No.
Was it easy?
Yeah, a little bit. Not so easy, unexperienced, but it was good.
How about you? Had you paddled before?
Yeah.
And what was this like for you today?
Good.
Tell me a little bit about it. What was it like for you?
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was fun, and that's about it.
Did
got really wet.
Really wet. Okay. Did you guys have to work together?
Yes, we had to paddle at the same time.
Did you do pretty well together as a group?
I think so.
It was really exciting to canoe in a double canoe. It was just really awesome.
Did you learn something today?
I really learned teamwork a little bit more because if you don't paddle at the same time, it doesn't go fast, and then you can't do very well in the races.
And so did the team work pretty well together?
Yeah, we pretty. Just have to think of a word, and then I'll say it so you paddle at the same time, and that's kind of how everybody did it.
It's really exciting, being in the bell boats and doing things that they do in other countries, just participating in that.
It was really exciting because I've never been in a canoe before, so I learned how to paddle today. It was really fun.
Well, it was fun because their Olympic coach was here, and I've never met someone famous like that, so it was fun. And it was kind of a experience for me because I've never been in a double canoe before. Yeah, and it was just really fun.
Well, how did you girls get into this race?
David Cham just came to our school and he said stuff about it, and our teacher, her husband's in part of the Winona City and stuff. So yeah.
And what school do you represent?
Some of us are from Bluffview Montessori, and the rest of them are from St. Stan's Middle School.
Okay. Well, let me ask all of you, what did you learn in this whole event?
Well, I kind of knew how to paddle, but this was really actually kind of hard because you have to be in sync. So it was actually really fun and I think I didn't really know that wood. I knew wood was heavier than everything else, but I thought it would be better if I was on wood because it would be an advantage. But I guess I was wrong. So I guess I'm right.
So tell me, are you having fun?
Really having fun.
Everyone had a fun time, and everyone was a winner at the Paddle for Life. David Train's message of solving local and global problems through teamwork and cooperation seems to have gotten through to the new generation, and hopefully through to the older generation as well. The Total Family Day extravaganza with the art activities and the paddling event was a great opportunity to continue on with the celebration of Winona's capital for a day and a wonderful chance for Winona to enjoy family activities together as a community. That's the spirit of the Heartland. This has been Joyce Woodworth. Please join me again next week.